morning and welcome to Caravan Escapades, or good morning depending on what time of day you're watching. So this is the start of part 5, I think. We've done 4 parts, so hopefully by the time you come to this one you'll be watching part 5 and you've watched 1, 2, 3 and 4. If you haven't, might be worth going back and watching those again, entirely up to you. So start of a new part. We're still at Estoril. We've got probably about 4 days left before we need to leave. But we will start kind of packing up just a little bit before that. So what we've decided to do today is we've decided to head out and find one of the local markets. There is a leaflet you can get from reception which tells you about all the different markets that are on, and there are markets kind of every day in and around the area. And we're hoping to find kind of a traditional style of French market. We haven't been to one yet. You saw that we went to the street market or the night market in Estoril. Sorry, not in Estoril. What am I talking about? You've seen that we've been to the night market in Fréjus, which was nice, which is great, but it was very much a touristy market, that one, just selling kind of crafts and toys and bags and doing hair braids and tattoos and that sort of thing. So we do like a traditional French market in sort of one of the traditional French villages. So that's where we're off now, and we'll come back to you in a bit. We've just arrived at the French market. We kind of got the sat nav to take us into the general direction, and it's a town called Sainte Aygulf, Aygulf, so Sainte Aygulf, something like that anyway. So it's down here in the front. We've managed to park on one of the side roads. Luckily, just as we were pulling in, somebody was pulling out, so we got the only spot there. So we're going to have a wander around the market.
Ah ouais, franchement j'ai kiffé.
It's a shame this isn't smell-o-vision, to be able to smell all the different spices. It smells incredible.
Je fais tout. Ouais. Moi, si tu veux, dans un sac. That one? Are you sure with the purple flower? Yeah. Whoosh! James, is that it?
Well, we spent a nice couple of hours walking around the market at Sainte Aygulf. I'm not sure again. Anyway, we spent a nice couple of hours walking around the market. Yeah, it's a proper traditional French market with everything from food, clothing, shoes, ornaments, fish, fresh produce, all that sort of stuff. So if you're in the area, it's Tuesday, the market's here is on Tuesday, so definitely worth a visit down. So baguettes ready to go in the oven.
And we're not making them, we're just...
No, we're watching them being made, filming. Come on, come quick. You should go round, come round. Whoa. Wow. Put in the lines, Darcy, okay. Mate. You do it, do one.
You do one.
Wow, merci beaucoup. So Darcy May gets to put the lines in the baguettes before they go in the oven. Look, and here's some more dough coming out, look.
More dough.
It's all been improving.
Yeah. So the man's just putting the lines in. Look, he's doing a little bit quicker than Darcy May.
Because he's faster than me.
Yeah. And it goes up. Come back, stand back. And straight in the oven.
Down again.
So we just came across that just as we were walking back to the car. So we see the baguettes being made. A little bit interesting for you. Thought you might like to see that. So we've just ridden around the market at Sainte Aygulf, and what we thought, we're basically halfway from where we are at Estoril to sort of Saint Tropez anyway. So we thought, why not, let's go and spend the afternoon down in Saint Tropez. We know it can be busy down there. We've not been for what, 4 years, something like that, since Saint Tropez. What we'll probably do is looking at going to Saint Maxine and catching the ferry across, but we thought, while we're down this way, why not, let's go down there. So that's where we're heading now. We're just here at Sainte Maxine. It looks very nice. Looks quite exclusive. What we're going to do is park up here at the port and then probably catch the ferry over. So we're just kind of going to work out where the port area is and where we need to go to catch the ferry over. But it does look very nice around here. So we've come to the port car park at Sainte Maxine. We've managed to park, as you can see over there. Only little concerning bit is that the barriers are just up. There are spaces in the car park, and there's just basically a message saying wait until spaces are free. So there are free spaces. There are actually quite a few free spaces. So yeah, are we going to be struggling when we come back and not be able to get the car? Who knows. But here we are at Sainte Maxine port, and now we're going to walk over and find the ferry, which we think is here. Find the ferry to Saint Tropez and see where we go from there. So I think that one of these boats is what's going to take us to Saint Tropez. Yes, it says the Saint Tropez times on here, Sainte Maxine to Saint Tropez. So we're going to get on one of these. The girls are obviously in the toilets, which is great. Saint Tropez over that way. So we'll get on a boat in a minute as soon as the girls are finished. Well, as the girls have been stuck in the toilet, we've just missed the boat. Shouldn't be too bad, it's only about 15 minutes waiting. To be fair to the girls, it wasn't really their fault. There was a big queue in the toilets, not many toilets. So the boat's gone and we'll catch the next one. So I'm sat on the boat. I managed to get on the front of the boat. We are literally just pulling out of Sainte Maxine. And then Darcy May didn't want to come up the front, so she sat back there with Mummy, look. And then we're going to head out over this way, off to Saint Tropez. So we've crossed, we're now in Saint Tropez. As you can see, there's some of the yachts there. I did a bit of a time lapse as we came across, so depending on how long that time lapse goes on for, I might put that on back end of the video, that sort of thing. There are some nice big yachts here in the port or in the marina in Saint Tropez, but I think what you'll find is that the bigger, as what we know as super yachts now, are too big to actually get into Saint Tropez Marina, and they have to basically moor up or anchor up out in the bay, and then get tenders and that sort of thing to come in. So it looks like quite busy. This is the queue for the boat to go back. I think what we're going to do is we're going to spend a few hours here now, wandering around, get some food to eat, which is going to cost an absolute fortune. But hey ho.
My favourite place.
Well, it's Claire's favourite place, Sainte.
The last boat doesn't until 2 o'clock in the morning.
No,
Yeah, so as Darcy May
it's
said, the last boat doesn't go until 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's so gorgeous.
So we'll stop around here. You know, it was a bit of a spontaneous thing, just sort of turning up. So we're going to make the most of it. So there's one of the boats going now, Whispering Angel. You tend to find, although yeah, it does look like there's owners or renters on the boat at the minute, but what you tend to find with some of these boats as well is that they have their own private crew, and the crew's moving around to different locations, and then the owners or renters will come along. But I think there are owners on there at the minute. You can smell the diesel fumes.
Mummy, they put that in. Why has that lady got no shoes on?
Because generally on a boat you don't wear shoes because of marking the floor.
Why are they going to get the poison?
Obviously, not only do you find boats in Saint Tropez, you also find supercars. So we've just stopped for a spot of lunch. And we've just ordered cheeseburgers. So our dinners have arrived. Cheeseburgers in Saint Tropez.
You know, I don't have
So we're just wandering around the marina, and we tend to find there are a few artists and art sellers selling the various paintings. So a bit of view if we come across the other side. It's amazing how this one small fishing village has kind of become the playground of the rich and famous. So we're just walking by the Saint Tropez Lounge Club, obviously the place of the rich and famous. Monte Carlo registered there, and you got the Bugatti Chiron, I think. Yeah, I think it's a Chiron, it's not a Veyron, is it? Yeah, I mean, a £250,000 car, it's got bird poo on it. There you go. When I think about it, it's amazing the places that owning a caravan takes you to, particularly if you want it to. I mean, here we are at the moment in Saint Tropez, surrounded by all this luxury and that sort of stuff, but other times we've been on CLs in North Yorkshire, surrounded by sheep and cows and things like that, and been just as happy. So, you know, having a caravan is great because it really does kind of give you opportunities to explore and adventure and that sort of thing. This is kind of at the top end of Saint Tropez, where the boats are still luxurious, but let's say a little smaller. So we've just come away from the main marina area and kind of walking into, I guess you'd kind of call it Old Town, Saint Tropez. So where you've got the lanes and the boutique shops and that sort of thing. You'll have to excuse my ignorance. Obviously I've seen this here, looks quite exclusive. It is the Dior, obviously I know the Dior brand. I don't know whether it's just a restaurant, the Dior restaurant, or whether it's a hotel. I've just noticed obviously we've got Dior shop here, Louis Vuitton, Saint Laurent, Giorgio Armani, Bulgari. So we've obviously hit that part of town.
Ah non, mais Elvie, est-ce que tu avais eu peut-être
Mummy, why will you throw me in the water?
Because she keeps saying you're too hot.
It's too deep.
You can.
Mummy, why will you throw me in the water?
Because she keeps saying you're too hot.
It's too deep.
You can.
Typical Browns, we've just been stood in the queue for the boat and then realised we're in the wrong queue for the wrong boat. Good job we realised, otherwise we'd have ended up going somewhere we shouldn't have been. So we've now moved and got into the right queue. Well, that's been a pleasant afternoon in Saint Tropez. We've just caught the boat back to Sainte Maxine. So here we've just got off the boat there. Managed to get on the front of the boat, quite a fun trip with a bit of bobbing up and down and a bit of sea splashing in. So we're all having a bit of a laugh on the way back. So yeah, we're back to Sainte Maxine. And I think what we're going to do is head back to the car and then drive back to the caravan site, and hopefully we can get the car out because of those problems we had when we arrived not getting any tickets. Well, we're just walking back to the car park, and the good news is the exit barriers are still open. So it may well be that we've had parking for free today. I suppose we'll really find out when we get back to the UK or the next time we come to France, in case we got a fine. But we couldn't get a ticket on the way in. The barriers are still open on the entry.
There's a ticket on the window screen.
No, and there's no ticket on the windscreen. So looks like we've had free parking today. Well, another adventure for the Browns today on our caravan escapades. We've decided to come to Cannes. Yeah, a bit of a spontaneous thing this morning, so we've kind of hit the coast road and we've wandered down. So we've just arrived and here we are in Cannes. Just some of the boats here at Cannes. This one's a bit of a strange one, a bit more of a sort of big sailing boat, all sort of jet black. So there must be living quarters underneath, sort of thing. But I'm kind of guessing it must be more of a sort of day boat, really. Not really seen one like this before. And you can see some of the other bigger ships, boats, yachts out there over that way. Well, guess what we've decided to do?
There's a bus on the train, but we're on the train.
That's it, get on the tourist train. So we're just sat waiting for the tourist train to start. I think he just dinged his bell, I'm not sure.
Yes, he did. Well, you have hearing aids. There's a thing on this what has a button of hearing aids.
Well, that's a bit of a disappointment. The only person's headphones that are working are Darcy May's.
Yeah.
So we can't hear anything, I can't hear anything out of these, they can't hear anything out of hers, and Darcy May can hear through hers. That's a shame. There are some works going on here out the front, I guess to improve things or put new things in. So just right there, how well you can see it is the world famous Cannes Casino, which I believe is where the majority of the kind of film festival takes place. Certainly around that area anyway. Some of the famous brands, Dolce & Gabbana, Chanel, Dior. One of the downsides of this road train tour is we are literally just stuck in the traffic, so we're kind of moving on stop start. It's a little bit warm, so I don't know whether doing this is probably better off early in the morning or late on at night where it's a bit more sort of flowy, but it follows the same route anyway, so I guess you'll travel the same distance. There's a Majestic Hotel, the Gucci shops, Ultron, Amiga. So yes, very much again the playground of the rich and famous. So I don't know whether you can see through there. There's some of the beach. We'll try and bring you a better view later on. Hotel Martinez. I'm kind of guessing to stop here in a hotel is probably a bit second rate, really, because if you're stopping here in a hotel it means you've got a yacht out in the harbour, so people stopping in these fancy hotels probably lower down the food chain to those stopping out there in their super yachts, etc. There's the Park Club in Cannes. Restoration. Again, Darcy May knows more about that than we do because she's the one listening. I don't know why, quite whether you can see this, but there's two Bugattis over there. This is some of the cars. The road train or tour bus, whatever you want to call it, is taken us a little bit inland or away from the coast, so I'm not sure what we might see now. Kind of heading round, a bit more mundane around here really. Sort of almost the back streets of Cannes. was just thinking about some of those supercars we've just seen parked outside those hotels. Do the owners really drive them all the way down here from wherever? Or do they get somebody to drive them down for them? Do they fly down here and then get picked up from the airport? Or do they come round in their yachts and that sort of stuff, and the cars are brought here for them to kind of hose up down the front? Who knows? Just a thought, really. So we're heading inland again, or when I say inland, just to kind of away from the coast. I'm guessing this is a bit more sort of maybe Old Town. I'm not really sure. Again, not quite the same. Oh, looks like there's some sort of market there, so they've finished up and packed up for the day, but that's probably the food market. So we're probably heading around the kind of market area. But it just goes to show that it's not all glamour and money. So it's probably a little bit more kind of old town. Little bars and the shops. Streets up to what looks like a church at the top there. So the road train stopped probably at one of the higher points of Cannes, just so we could stretch our legs for 5 minutes, kind of have a look round. This is looking down on Cannes Square. There's the big wheel. We promised our mates you can have a ride on that when we get back down there. We're parked underneath that square. And here's some of the boats, and I believe the road train we went all the way up to the other end where those cranes are. We've managed to get a little higher. There's like an old wall up here, so you can probably get a slightly better view than we did before. We need to go back to the train. He's just peeped his horn, or rang his bell, sorry, not peeped his horn, but here's the view to the other side of Cannes, across there towards where we've come from. So we've just got back on the train in a different position, and we got headphones that work, so we can get the commentary now. We've all got the headphones on. So that's it, we've just done the kind of land train tour. Is it worth doing? Yeah, I kind of guess if your time is limited here in Cannes, definitely worth doing. Just make sure you get a set of headset that work, because we just really had to enjoy the views and not had any documentary or any of the descriptions of what's been going on. But yeah, we've just got off that, so it can't be too long, I'm guessing, before the film festival. If it's not the film festival, it must be some other bits, because they're kind of setting up all these stages and things on the beach, doing various different bits and bobs that we're just going to kind of take a quick walk down onto Cannes Beach. So we've just walked down onto the main Cannes Beach. Very crowded, very busy. As you can see, it stretches all the way around and all the way along. There are obviously some private sections and that sort of stuff. Probably a little bit too crowded for us. I don't think we like it quite as crowded. But at least we've kind of come. We're going to have a wander along it before we go on the big wheel. So we've come up to, I guess, Majestic Hotel and their private beach area. They've kind of cordoned it off so you can't kind of walk through. So if you do want to walk through, you've got to go round. So you kind of got to walk up here and then round again. So we won't try and be a bit cocky and walk through. We'll walk up across the edge. So the girls have talked us into going onto the big wheel. It looks like it's quite an enclosed big wheel, but we should get a good view of cans from down, down here from up there. So we've got to wait till it stops. So here we go. We're on our way up.
So I would like to change the sky.
I don't think Claire likes it very much, do you, Claire? So we won't start rocking it. Darcy May doesn't mind, do you?
Just sit still.
And it says
Yeah,
no
nearly at
rocking.
the top. It's not that high, to be fair.
Oh, gee whiz.
It stopped. Well, they're letting
Boat's
the
got a
people
hot tub on it now.
That what?
Sit still, sit still.
You can hear Claire shouting because she's a bit nervous.
And it says no rocking.
Yeah.
So here we go. We're on our way up.
So I would like to change the sky.
I don't think Claire likes it very much, do you, Claire? So we won't start rocking it. Darcy May doesn't mind, do you?
Just sit still.
And it says
Yeah,
no
nearly at
rocking.
the top. It's not that high, to be fair.
Oh, gee whiz.
It stopped. Well, they're letting the
Boat's got a
people
hot tub on it now.
That what?
Sit still, sit still.
You can hear Claire shouting because she's a bit nervous.
And it says no rocking. Mummy, it's rocking.
You're not allowed to rock it sometimes.
Why? Why?
So we're not at the top yet, but we're nearly at the top, I think. Yeah.
I'm annoyed.
I thought you might be able to see a bit further across the other side of the casino.
I'm annoyed.
Why are you annoyed, Darcy, mate?
Jane, please sit still.
So we're nearly at the top.
I've been saying that for the last 20 minutes.
What has he been saying?
We're nearly at the top. We're nearly at the top.
We're nearly at the top. At the top!
We are, so they're at the top. See all the way down there.
We're taller than the houses. We're taller than the houses and the bird. We're not the big cathedral.
James, just sit still, please.
No, don't.
So I think what we'll do is we'll bring this, is it part 5? I think it's part 5 to an end.
No, part 6.
No, this is part 5. Part 6 has been the next one, probably on our journey home. Bit of a strange place to end the vlog, but I thought I'd do it while we're here on the big wheel, sat a few hundred metres or wherever we are, 100 metres above the town of Cannes. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed part 5. Hopefully you've watched 1, 2, 3 and 4. And please stay with us and we'll upload part 6 when we get the chance.
And 5 and 6.
And 5 and 6. Thank you very much. So please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Hit the notification button so you'll be notified when we upload more videos. And we'll see you on the next one.